All right. Let's give it a few seconds here before we can go completely live. And we're live. Okay. Okay, so again, this is another night. Last night I was not able to do a live stream on Backtest because I was going bowling with some friends at work. But yeah, other than that, let's just get into it tonight. We already did a live session today, so this is just the night for back testing and kind of chill out. Tomorrow is a Friday. Friday morning we don't do live trading. We're just gonna do small talk and essentially minor live trades. I would say psychology. But yeah, I would just say that we're just gonna go to do some back tests. Not a lot of stuff going on. So with that, without further ado, let's go ahead and draft this here live on the right, the main screen on the middle, and then the streaming on the left. Okay, cool. So I only trade one pair. I know it's not diversified, but so far GBPUSD has been really good to me. The technicals have been extremely well, so I'm getting used to the pair. Probably in the future I would have to diversify it, but for now have enough capital. So I would say I want to kind of progress this pair first before I can go on to do anything else. Um, so like I said before, this year 1 to 3. Okay. Well, these are the kind of trades I'm just kind of back test. So these color, the gray stop loss and the purple-ish, the purple and pink-ish, purple I would say, violet-ish. Violet? Is that violet? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's violet. But it's purple and pinkish. This is a default trade, or I should say the trade that I have taken when the opportunity is presented on the chart. And these kind of colors, where it's more purple-ish, um, purple like magenta-ish, this is where I basically the trade has been missed, and I could have caught it. And yeah, through these kind of trades, through these kind of things, I've been able to gather more experience, you should say. But yeah, essentially that's how it is. I don't expect anybody to come on, just because it's a night and we attract less traders and probably less people are watching in the night anyways. So I don't expect anybody to come on, just for myself and my archive. All right, so this session is pretty much over at 11. And with that said, let's move on to the next day, which is on Tuesday, November 29th. 22nd. That's the thing I want to do. I want to like kind of okay, this mouse is not that great. Okay. I want to like get it as close to closing time as possible, like around 17 p.m. so that I can mark up the daily high and lows without bothering or stepping into another day beginning. So yeah, let me try to do that. That's something I try to incorporate in the recent times anyways. And there we go. Let's go on a daily and pretty much mark up the current daily high and lows so that we know the range. It doesn't spoil us because I do not like spoilers, especially when it comes down to back testing. It kind of curve your bias regardless. Um, so yeah, mark these two up and let's go back to 1 hour and keep going. 29. That's 6 a.m. 6, 7, 8, 8 a.m. 8:30. That's already 9. And let's go back here. Come on now. There we go. So 4 hour. I know it's kind of spoil it, but as long as you can go into it without any much hesitation and being clear to yourself, it should be fine. So from this structure right here, we have the market is still trending bullish. It's still trending bullish. Macro structure still trending bullish. It reached the 50%, which is great. Let's go ahead and do. And yep, it's reached around 50%, which is something I wanted to do. Price is trending slowly, reversing upside once again. It did retrace here onto this order block, which is pretty much a good sign. 3 hour retrace past this. This wick here is a little bit concerning. I would say this wick here is concerning because this is a sign of selling pressure, pushing price all the way back down once again from this previous high over here on the left. But essentially, I will look at this as macro bias for bullish. It doesn't matter as much when you go down into the lower time frame, but I can see that price is looking a little bit choppy. Even on the 1 hour, we form a clear head and shoulders here, broke with the previous lows. So it's a mixed zone. It's not something I would personally want to trade at. The zone I do not want to trade at, I would say. High lows, zero point 0.5 here. Price did come up here and kind of retraced in pretty much the top half. But from this point, I don't see a lot of trend. I don't see a lot of what is it? The wave, a lot of Elliott waves, stuff like that. The trend is low liquidity. I would say there's aren't a lot of stuff going on that form the trend at all, and so I cannot base a lot of structure off of the trend. There's only this one here, so I would have to draw it like that, just because the trend is hitting. I want to see price respect this when it's going up, but it's like an expanding. It's like a funnel expanding outside. This is really not something I would hope for. I would want something that close to some structure coming up back and forth, and then I can draw a trend line here where price can indication that it broke. But since this is the whole trend of lack of structure, then technically it broke the trend, right? So this is why I only have two bases off of the bullish order block and the bullish trend at the moment. So with that said, there aren't a lot of technicals we have on the chart at the moment. So there's a 15 minutes there. Let's mark that up. Well, that's kind of spoil it, but that's fine. That's 9:45. No, 8:45, and finally 9. At 9, we are bouncing off of that, so that's good to know. We broke through the previous lows, and now it is at a really weird area, I should say. I'm not confident in terms of trading in this zone at the moment. Price broke through the previous lows, and it has, look at this, this is a good structure as well. So I should say I'll just take the opportunity, see how price retrace back up to the zones that I think is interesting, and then kind of see where it goes from there, because I cannot see some structure, clear structure. You see this here kind of respecting the trend, but that's pretty much it. That doesn't matter as much where price is at right now. Nonetheless, you see how price just broke through the previous lows that I kind of dynamically draw on the trend. It's not really it's not a full breakout, should say, but yeah. Let's just see where the price goes and see how it formed essentially. Right after that, price pushed down. Now we know we have a clear break, which is all the way down here into the order block area once again. So the 1 minute time frame, I always have this in thoughts. When it comes down to major structure, I need to see a good 1 minute here when the trend break. So we have some transition, but price never retrace back up once again. Now the 1 minute isn't really doing much good, so that's why I go to 3 minutes and just kind of sit around. And by testing, you don't want to spend too much time on one session unless you have to, because there are a lot of structure. Okay, let's go to 15, see if any 15-minute order block form, and we have a good 15 there, which is great. Was not retraced just yet. I would draw this as the 15, and I would draw the wick right here. Candle hint. Draw it like that. Right now, we are still trending downside. We are stopped at that 3 hour, 4 hour, whatever it is. But we are stopped at the buy side liquidity zone, so it's not a good look for us. Let's just see how this goes. This is just how I backtest. I just like the new feature they add on here, sell and buy, and just close that position. Even though it does help a little bit, I would hope for it to adjust, but adjust like the lot size and such like that. But it's like a really cool addition, buy and sell, just stuff like normal like that, so you can initiate the action yourself. So it's this simulate kind of like a real trading condition, but I don't think it's gonna do that much good. If I just come up here, around this right here, reach that zone where it is at interest zone. But right now we kind of see how price broke through the previous highs, kind of like the what is it, the smaller trend line, I would say. I don't see a lot of trending, just because this is low liquidity zone right now. There aren't a lot of trending going on. In 3 minutes, we just broke through the previous high. 5 minutes as well. And let's go ahead and draw some Fibonacci here. So this is essentially it. That's how small the trend line's been broken. 0.5 is a little bit lower. There is not any 351. Smaller trend down here. Dynamically, I should say. Is not bouncing off too much. Even this zone over here, it bounced off way too fast. And this candlestick is not going to be something I would want to enter in once again. And it is sitting at the zone where it can potentially reverse as well. So we have two outcomes here on these price action area. One is I hope for price to come back down into the zone, having a reasonable entry area. Let's go ahead and do 6 pips actually. 6 pip, reasonable area, so that the projected trade would be around 1 and 3, but it reached back up there once again. In which case, price did not really go as far down as I would be anticipated. It needs to go around 7 pips. And in order to come back down to there, it needs to be reaching up here all the way to the top. In which case, I think it is around the 5, 1 or 3 minutes coming back into the zone. But essentially, this one here, we do not see any 50 or 3 minutes order block coming in. We have a 1 minute here. Price didn't really touch 50%. It's not really that technical. But then this candlestick here engulf all the way up once again. So we want to look for a good area of retracement, you should say. Around 0.5. And 7 pips, I should say this is an adjustable trade. 1 minute there, maybe with the spread as well. That's why around 7 pips should be fine. But stop loss, or my bad, take profit should be around up here. 10:06, and we touch 1 to 3. So essentially, it's kind of reacting the same way. I'm still getting more comfortable with it to time, and whether or not to take the trade off of this bounce, or to take the trade off the second confirmation. And I think I like taking the trade off the confirmation, where price retrace up once again, kind of confirming the reversal, actually confirming the reversal once again, bounce off the trend line and kind of catching the secondary entry when price coming back down to this 1 minute OB here. That's like in theory the best price that we can get at that zone, I should say, kind of rounding off the stop loss itself to 7 if I could. I don't want to go too far. And then take profit upside, which is around the 3 minute or the 1 minute there as well, reaching overboard just a little bit. But yeah, that's the first trade that we can get. This is an adjustable trade because I do not feel comfortable just yet. I need to go back over and over again on these kind of scenarios so I can pull the trigger without thinking twice and not being honest about myself. You see how the trend line being bounced on and off, and 15-minute broken. So outside, and 15 minutes been broken, so I gotta delete that. Opportunities like these, it kinda in a way present itself when it does reverses, when it comes into this big area of reversal, when coming into the big order blocks area, because it has more liquidity area, a liquidity, buy side liquidity. And so when you are buying in here, you see some kind of structure forming and see price form and touch like this. These are the area where you can re-entry with more confidence. And I just need more experience in more scenarios like these when I'm back testing. Slowly but surely, I'm getting more comfortable with trend lines and the retracement of trend lines. Basically, the retracement of trend lines. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Order block wise, it has been a little bit unfortunate. I should say the the order block setup doesn't happen all the time, and the order block setups also does not win all the time, and it's kind of like an adding component instead of the trend line itself alone. Trend line is more or less like a structure of the mass. I mean, after this, we don't have a lot of candlesticks forming for us to do anything else, and prices pretty much skyrocketed from there. We have another 15, so I'm gonna wait for 15, which case it will take a lot. There we go. It will take a lot of candlesticks to do that. It's gonna slowly initiate the path. There's a 5 there, bouncing off the trend when it break back up. Let's go to 1 minute, see what's going on. Let's see here. There's a mini trend was broken. Mini trend. This one here formed kind of in the middle of the legs, out of nowhere. 3 minute has been formed as well, so I'm gonna be cautious with this zone. There is a bounce off of the is that the 15? I would say the candle hint, and 5 minutes here. It's kind of bouncing off the 5, but it did break through as well. Something to keep in mind of. We have a 5 minute and 3 minute and 1 minute cluster when it come back into the trend as well. So it is at that area where it's uncertain where price is gonna go. It's almost 11 as well. We do have a 3 minute and the 1 minute order block here, something to be concerned about. After it broke, it kind of formed this. And there is a 1 minute. I would have to take this 1 minute for its safe. This is outside. This zone is outside of the trend. It's a little bit more risky because I see this as a sign of rejection, and I see a lot of buying orders are coming in, so I'm not going to go in on that part. I'm not going to go in from this candlestick right there because that's really bad rejection sign from the buy side liquidity. And so I'm going to sit around, see some clearer structure here. That's a good area, good candlestick here. This is some good rejection downside, but then immediately after that there's a white candle close, so it kind of shifted back up again. Let's see how this plays out. That candle, cool. You see how it rejected down. There are buy side, but at the same time, let's say my bad. There are sell side coming in, sell side pressure, but also buy side coming in and building pressure up as well. Overall, not a good area to take trade at the moment. And this is the area, this is a candle. Oh my god. This is the candle right there where I would say after this candle closes, because it has good rejection, you can see how this is almost a graveyard, I should say. And it resembles good rejection, so I would enter right after this candle close. And let's go default. Set my stop loss right above there, so around 4, hopefully, with the spread. Default. It's really hard to draw the Fibonacci here. You have to set the dynamic take profit, honestly. Let's see how the 1 to 3 fed out from this. Fed out to this area. Let's just take a sell right here. Go ahead and see what happens. Got good push and immediate rejection. That's a really bad sign from that. Immediate rejection upside there. Eventually, we just got through, and then a little bit over 11. I would say this is like a last trade off the session, like an extension. But there is something to go on here. I would personally take the trade off at the 1 to 3 mark. There we go. I'll personally take the trade off at the 1 to 3 mark, and you can see how candlestick signs are the main thing, right? Even with computers and algorithm, the main thing here is seeing rejection signs, right, of the candle. It's not about much about the power of the candle itself, but it's a signature at that level where it indicates rejection. And so this candle here indicates a lot of buy side pressure that's not coming in, and sell side liquidity sitting up here, and sell side pressure are start coming into the market. It kind of pushed price down after this buy coming up. So right after this candle open or this candle closes, entering right there, and then ride the market down to 1 or 3. Depends where your take profit is. 5 minutes, that should be a good key level, I should say. Good key level, recheck it from both sides. 890. Matching up with minus 27. Either way. This one was not really that it. Okay. Kind of matching up to minus 27 at 890. So around 1 to 3. I would personally take that off because at the end of the session anyways, and we have some mixed signs going into the market. With that said, that this session is done. And this trade here, we did catch this one, so that's great. Building up some confidence as we go move on to the future. Price continue to melt down after that. And yeah, with that said, just keep going, see how this gonna plays out. And before, how I approach the market, right? How I approach the market before is that I wait for this kind of like structure forming right here from the low, and let's go with 5 minutes and see it. And this here low, I want to see this kind of this push here push to the previous low. So let's go down to the 1 minute. I want to see this low being broken, right? And as soon as the low being broken, I look for re-entry sign. I look for some retracement upside once again. in which case it works out as a 50% as well. Works out as a 50%. And right now with the trend, it basically compounds in together. And that's the way I've been approaching the market, for the current time being. Um, and I need to find the sweet spot between order blocks and trend lines and basically breakout trading. Still working on that because the trend line fill in my gap of understanding, and it's kind of filling the gap that was not there before. It's like a clarity, I should say. Instead of just entering in blindly, now I wait for sign. Now I wait for an actual candle sign before I enter into the market itself. So that's something that I feel more comfortable about. Just waiting for signs and be more assured, used to say. All right. So with that said, that is Tuesday down. Let me go ahead and open up the Forex Factory. Open that up, and it is. Let's go back in time now. Wednesday, November 30th. There is some non-farm payroll, non-farm employment at 8:15. Don't worry about that because we trade at 9. Yeah, openings at 10. Okay. So we have some major news tomorrow. On Wednesday, even on TradingView, it marks it up as well. Job openings at 10. So let's go ahead and go back to 18. Previous daily low. What is this? What? No, that's a little bit too far back. Let's go here actually. 45. And mark up previous daily high and low or current high and low. I don't want to zoom out on daily time frame and the whole thing generates and spoil the bar replay. That's one thing I just don't like about bar replay. But other than that, everything else works fine. There we go. Daily time frame's done. Let's go back to 1 hour. Close the interval. Let's go back here onto 8. Let's go to 15. Go back right there. 8:30, 8:45. Let's go on 4 hour. On 4 hour, price after that, rejection all the way down. We see price continuation and basically bounce back up from that. And we don't have a 4 hour order block here. We do have a 4 hour doji, indecisive candle. I don't want to mark that up. And what is that? That's 8. Hold on. 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Between 8 and 9, I should say. Between 8 and 9, that happened. So I would say I still don't even. That's just one thing I don't like about bar replay. It's just that it spoils the price for me, and that just ruins almost everything. Um, 9, yeah, it's around here, but I do not like that at all, not one bit. When I come back and kind of see the bar replay and kind of I want to analyze the market, this is what happens in that 3 hour interval. This move happened and now it's spoiled. Hopefully I can come into this with a clear mind once again, no bias. So now we can see how the 3 hour here. Let's just act like that move is not there. There's 3 hour here, and then price balance pretty much off of this at the moment, and so I'm still biased there, don't bias bullish. But at the same time, you can see on the left here on the 3 hour, and you can see how this trend has been broken and how I've been drawing up from the last session. I see how price have broken this and then continue down once again. And so this trend line here is basically a continuation of that. So it is basically trending downside at the moment, and you can see how the previous shoulder has been broken by this one, and coming back down here, kind of forming some structure once again. Bounce off of this 3 hour, coming back to the 3 hour on the left. So now we are kind of biased bearish at the same time. It's like a complex pullback, I should say. It's like kind of like a complex pullback area. And let's go ahead and draw the trend. This one here is a little bit too stoop. Not that great. But yeah, it's a complex pullback area. I shouldn't really go in depth into it. And let's just keep going. This previous low was not broken as well. This previous low was not broken. This two highs here, two leg lows, basically forming a good trend, I should say. Dynamic trend line, just like that. But when price come bouncing up, this is how you draw the trend. And at this moment of time, because the previous low did not break through the Lego structure low, so we are still in the complex pullback zone, in which case I do not like where it is going at the moment. But yeah, it's kind of bouncing off the trend line, just something I need to pay attention to. There is a 3 hours there. There's a 1 hour as well, did not break to the previous high. Nonetheless, we have broken through this dynamic trend line as well. Let's go to 30 minutes. I'll keep that there. Cool. 15. It's kind of trending both sides, but then we have the order blocks down here kind of supporting it as well. Is something I do not want to see. We are kind of mixed sign in the middle. Again, it's not enough. A lot of, I should say, low liquidity is going on in this zone. Price coming off the support, and hopefully this candle should break open. Yeah, it's not a good sign even to mark that up. So I'm gonna zoom all the way down actually. I'm gonna zoom all the way down to see where the trend is currently. This trend is also a little bit shady because you can see this top trend begins all the way there. This is technically is the trend right here. Since I have broken through, this is how it should be bouncing off. So yeah, this trend is not really that great to base off of. And let's see. This is not really that much of a trend. It's just basically a dynamic support area. But let's just draw it anyways. 3 minute has been broken. We're just gonna go off of where and how the price is forming for us at the moment. Let's see, that candle broke straight through. There's a 3, 1, there's a 5 there as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna go off of what we have here at the moment because we're in complex pullback and scalping. This is not a good macro structure area. So I'm just gonna focus on where it is at the moment. In which case we have some space where price can push even down to the 3 hour order block anyways. So I'm not worried too much about that. See if it form any structure around here on the trend break. So that's it. Let's keep going. See where it goes. This is a 1 minute time frame. Bounce off of that. Gonna see if there's any 3 minute forming. No, there's no 3 minutes. Any 3 minutes or 5 minutes at all. And 50% is a little bit higher as well. So there's little to no signs that it can potentially, maintain this area here. It's approaching the 50. Touch the 50. Great. Coming into the 1 minute order block area here. See how well this gonna maintain. I'll see this candlestick is gonna maintain this zone. So let's point one. It has broken through. We have some sign of rejection anyway, so let's see on the 3 minute, and there's a higher one up there as well. So this is the highest point. It's like a final point where it should be able to retrace, I should say. Highest point. Let's see if there's any sign of rejection. Nope. After right there, you see this candle here. The reason why I did not enter in, because after two of these candle pushing up and this candle kind of pushed down, I want to see a second candle push down even more. Now that's precisely why I did not want to enter there, not even a little bit, because it's a little bit too far. And price have pretty much come up and broke through the previous high, so now the whole trend reverses. And yeah, just gonna see where it's gonna go, where it can potentially come back down or not, to give us kind of like a buying opportunity here. That's a 3 minutes, and that's a 1 minute. I would draw a Fibonacci here, just because broke through the previous high, at least poke through it. That's not a good trend. I'm gonna go ahead and draw this down here. Is a good area as well, so let's see. It's not gonna be that low. Oh, keep going. I thought I already clicked that. Let's default on this. See, we have some reversal here. Let's put this default. I was thinking about 5 pips as stop loss, even lower actually. We did reach the area of interest as well. The zone around 103, really cool. It is approachable. It's also at that zone where price kind of reverses to. On the left here, it still respects even a little bit, but it's still respecting the highs. But the trend overall has been broken on this sideways trend, you can say. This resistance area has been kind of pretty much broken. So that case, this is a good sign as well, where price can potentially reverses. Just 3 minutes here, down, up, down, mini head and shoulders, but it's more or less a transition through. So we have both sides. We have both sides here looking into this. So we can either enter in immediately, or I shouldn't really go ahead and do this. I want to see price retrace down even lower, instead of doing that. In my range, I want it to be around here, where price can retrace up there. In which case, if I enter in immediately over here, my range would have to be above. I do not like that, so it's pretty much outside the range. So you can see how I would hesitate on this as well. This is how like a really mini trend break. You can see these everywhere. Um, and so it did not reach 0.5. You can see how it broke through once again. and see how this huge rejection just kind of pretty much bought off. See how this risk analysis really work, and see how this reward pays off for us, and see if it's worth it to enter in the trade or not. Uh, 1 minute. Let's see if we have a 3 minute tier. No, so a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio that it's achievable. Five, that's achievable. I should say that's achievable at the 3 minute at least level. So we can basically do 2 rides. We have a good area of confirmation here where the 0.5 need to be reached down. So, which case, when price coming back up there once again, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's like a reversal area, but we have a zone where price have kind of achieved that as well. Is a bigger 0.5. But I'm gonna pull the trigger here. I'm gonna pull the trigger here, and then hopefully for a 1 to 3, and see how we can re-enter in the price once again. Okay, there we go. So that's how we exit out, and it's still maintaining that zone of 0.5, still maintaining that 1 minute of break of structure. This trade was a success. Kind of take the trade right there when the price come back down. Did not kind of breach the 0.5 and did not smear back down to this 1 minute OB. So now is around the 1 minute area, and we would like to hope for some kind of rejection or reversal. And let's see here, this candle come back down. Maybe as this candle gather buy side liquidity, pushes up, sell side pushes down. This one here is the middle. This one here is a good candle, but it's not good enough. It still need to have more signature, I should say. That candle there, not that great just yet. None of these candles are strong enough. Price shot all the way straight. Holy fuck. It shot all the way through. And over breach actually. What is that? 942? It doesn't even have any news over there. 945. Nah. Nothing really achieved that. So I would say this is uh it's hard to say, huh? On one side, I want to catch it. On the other side, it's like this is it lining up with my criteria? I'm gonna look on for my notes here. If the zone matches trend line, entry. If the zone matches, if the zone doesn't match trend line, within the trend, this is not within the trend. It matches the trend line and it's outside the trend. So this is meeting the lax criteria. It's meeting the last criteria as well. So I'm gonna act this as an adjustable trade. See how this fits. So 3 pips. Three. It's an adjustable trade to 1 to 3 risk ratio. And it's kind of because of the minus 27 all the way up there. So I should say immediately after 1 to 3, still within the range. Set the take profit level and then stop loss right there. Because this move is way too big. You can see how price immediately come and just test the level and then reject back down once again. So I should say about 1 to 3, and then this trade could have been stopped out at 1 to 3. And after all of this has been exhausted, price come back down once again. So this is an example here. I just need more screen time. I just need more backtest on this part. So the notes that I had before, Lax, let's go ahead and open it up once again. Trend line breakout when price reach it back to interest zone or the order block area. Basically, if the zone matches if the zone matches the trend line equals an entry. So the zone matches the trend line equals entry, right? It's not a 3 minute or a 5 minute trend. It's just a 1 minute. So that's something that I need to have more practice on, and Fibonacci as well. This one kind of like a better. It has a better chance of entering, basically. Okay, more practice on this. I'll go back to it another 2 or 3 times in the future. And like I said, every other session, it introduces me to a whole new concept that I have not seen before. Now see how price now have broken through, and we have good trend. We have good trend going upside once again, and now we broke another mini trend. Kinda, kind of broke a mini trend down there. From the low to this low here, second low here. And let's see, we have any 3 minutes. We have a zone of interest on the 5. That's a little bit too big. On the 3 minutes, that's the candle hint. And 1 minute, we don't have anything. So see how this reacts. We're almost there at another news release. I want to avoid the news release, in which case it's job openings. Something marks really. It's something of a big data as well. Matches up with the 0.5, which is awesome. Now I want to see some more rejection zone over here. Let's pull up the perception once again. So this is 3 and 5 have been formed. Wait for candle signal rejection before entry. Okay, that's good candle rejection. Second candle rejection. Stop loss way too big. And come back up once again. You see how this gonna fed up here. Nope. Yep, that's good. That's the thing I want to look for. Low. Let's go for default. We're right there at 10 as well. Right there at 10. Let's go ahead 4 pip stop loss. And let's go ahead and go to minus 27 here. So still achievable at that zone of 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. Over 1 to 3 basically. Let's go ahead to go over to see any major levels so we can mark up on the charts. No, not that I think can see right here. 1 minute. No, okay. So it's kind of dynamically. So that zone is good. It has a 3 and it has good rejection here. 2 candle rejection. Price come back up once again. But we are right there, 59. So it's kind of risky trading with news. See how price wake up once again. So yeah, this is not a good area. I would not take a trade before news at all because, like I said, this is a sign where price would have done it, right? Constitutional setups does these kind of moves and then it wicks you out before, like it wicks you up a few points above, and then pushes all the way through once again. Either way, it's a setup that I would not really trade during the news anyway, so it's kind of out of my perspective. At 10 job openings happened, and then this candle happened. So risky. We did not take it because at 59, you can see here 9:59, it did not do any move. And like 2 minutes before news, this happened. So after 10, nothing else could have make a good. I should even know what I'm saying. After the news, before the news, but yeah, now we know that it is a clear zone, a clear area we have broken through, and then have a defined trend, I should say. Still on 1 minute, slowly just going through it. There's a 1 right there. Is it gonna melt down? Starting up Discord. We don't have a lot of structure. Even approaching 10:30, we don't even have anything. So this trend line is officially broken. Officially being broken. And there's 1 minute right there sitting on the trend. So let's see how this gonna bounce. Any structure going on? Mm, yeah, let's just keep going. I'm curious. I wanna see if there is a trend line. Trend line indicator that we can use. Month, November 11. Start day 30. I'm gonna mess around with this actually. I don't know. I don't know if it works. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I'm just gonna mess around with it. Just curious if there's any trend line indicators. And yeah, I recently got a really cool background from Midjourney AI, and I couldn't find the user that made it, but just wanna send a direct message thanking him for making the art. So yeah, this is a quick showcase. Really cool. Like it's really cool. It's really cool. That's the only thing you can say. It's really cool, and it is originally not widescreen. It's not 16 by 9. It's actually a square kind of base. So I put it into Paint, and then I expand it a little, and then I just use the Paint 3D app on Windows. So yeah, the Paint 3D app, and then I spray it a little bit more with some opacity on there. Spray it around so it doesn't catch the edges. Down here is a little bit different shade of black, so I just make it so it doesn't show the lower line. And the top side, I just use the spray can, like the tool inside Paint, and I just spray it so that it blends in. So you can see it. You can still see the blending in of the spray can, but yeah, essentially, I still think it's cool. Um, I still think it's cool. I can't find the person who made it though. But if you're the one who made it and you can and somehow reach out, try and reach out on one of these live streams here. But yeah, really cool picture the AI have made from the prompts. And Midjourney, man, is probably one of my favorite AI out there in terms of creativity. Um, just form pictures from prompts. I made a few as well, but those are just from one word prompts. I didn't really mess around with it too much. But yeah, this is a really cool image of what is it? The how do you call this style of painting? Not spray paint. It's like brush painting, I should say. And yeah, it's just a really cool color, like color aspect of it. And then oh yeah, 3D paint 3D. I just put some filter on there. I think it was magenta filter, violet filter, and then I turn it up even a slightly bit so that the color are more highlighted. And then I take the screenshot of that because when I save it, it didn't save for some reason. The filter didn't save, and essentially I took a screenshot and then save it to widescreen and adjust it to 16 by 9, and now we have this. So yeah, really cool picture, man. It's just really cool art, and I see some older colors here, really cool blending in. So just kudos out to that. Let's get back in. All right, so back into the market once again. 5 minutes, we finally have some structure. Finally have some structure here. On the 5 minutes is a little bit too far, I should say. I should not take the trade off of this because the trend is way back past dual. I do not like it, so I will not take the trade on the 5 minutes. Too far gone. 51. That's almost there at 11. See if we have any 15. No, we do not. The only thing we have is a 5 minutes there. Price kind of retraced back up once again on those three. Previous daily low. Price reject really cool and then come back up once again. Maybe, maybe not a good entry. Let's see on the left if we have anything on the left at all. Kinda. We have a 15 here. That's why price kind of retrace a little bit. Track it all the way there. Reset the chart and then come back down to 1 minute. Reset the chart again. Okay. Let's drag it around. Yeah, this is the only reason why price retraced back up here once again on the 15 minute. But from the current momentum, we don't have a lot of liquidity. That's why price keep pushing down even lower. Maybe, maybe not an extra thing, but it doesn't match up with my strategy, so I don't want to take it. The criteria, it doesn't even match up as well. Let's just say test TP level. Best price. And then, oh, nope. Yeah, that point to 11, no more trades were made. No more opportunities were open anyways. Stop loss even higher. That's kind of trading around the range, I should say. Testing TP levels. Yeah, with that said, I'll just put it here as the uh, testing the take profit level, or just testing a trade in general. Yeah, see how the extreme overbought or oversold market fends towards this, because there is no trend break. Essentially, it's following the trend precisely. It's kept following the trend. There's no trend break, respecting the trend pretty well. Just going back up and retrace it. After the 5 minutes there, retrace on the 5 minutes and 3 minutes. You can see how price rejected down again. Kind of see best price when they come back up once again there. So maybe, maybe not. I would just set it there. It's not one of the trade that I am used to taking, but it is one of the trade that I am able to identify. So I just want to put it right there because it matches up kind of with the order blocks and the oversold market. All right, let's say that's past 11. So we're gonna continue pushing through. FD FOMC. 6:30, 7. There we go. Daily. Zoom even lower. Previous daily high. Previous daily low. Delete this and delete this. Cool. Let's keep going. 21, 3 a.m. And then a 6. Yep, at 6, I believe. And let's go to 3 hours. This one here, 5, so 8. Could have been form right there. I want to go a little bit back so it doesn't spoil the whole thing. Yeah, from this point, you can see the price is trending upside. It broke to the previous high, which is great. Now we know where the price is precisely heading. Let's zoom down a little bit more, and we have a 3 hour there. Kind of catching it with the zone of the previous high. Previous daily high, my bad. Let's go back to the 1 hour. We have a bigger order block area, so I'm going to mark the 1 hour in place of the 3 hour. This one is about to form as well, so I don't think we're gonna need a lot of that. 7, 8. Let's mark this one up here as well. A little bit closer. 30. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the markup I'm gonna do. And any news coming out on Force Factory on that day? So Thursday. Is it? This Thursday? Yep, it's Thursday. Thursday we have CPI on the Swiss francs. We have 8:30 at Core PCE or something. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Personal consumption expenditure. Okay, close to CPI, I guess. Economic power and basically buying power of consumers. And there is unemployment claims as well. So there are some major news coming out at 8:30. There are major news at 8:30, and then at 9:30, nothing else. At 10, we have PMI. So another major day for the US dollar. Just to keep that in mind. And a 30 minutes. So we have a 30-minute major zone here. It's like a key level or key point, I should say, because this is where even on 30-minute it's even out. So something to mark up. And see on the left if we have anything stopping it. Not that I am aware of. So I'm not gonna go too far back, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Let's mark this up as candle hint on the 1 hour. Cool. Go down to 15 now. 15 minutes. We do have one order block here. Has been retraced already, but I doubt it's gonna lose the power anytime. Been extremely bullish. 1, 2, 3. We're seeing off this 5 minutes right now. Let's draw Fibonacci from the 1 hour that we just formed actually. So in terms of overbought and oversold market conditions like these, I always draw it from the 1 hour order block, the hour order block and above, right? So at least a 1 hour order block, that's the least. For the Fibonacci, that's how I base it off of overbought or oversold market. because you cannot expect price to retrace all the way back down in that same session in just a short 2 hours. So that's pretty much how I do it. So 50% around there. So that's something we need to look out for. Marking up with the 15 as well. So let's see if we have any reversal coming our way. We have some 3 minutes break. Let's see, we have some trend lines marking up here as well. Respect the trend pretty nicely. This one here, not that great of an area. We did break through the um, artificial artificial trend, and there is no 3 or 5. So this one right here seems to be a really good level of entry. And was it 58? Okay, so let's say we can hypothetically cash this one here. We have a good bounce off too, and yeah, I should say this is a middle area. It's not really fully broken through just yet. There's the mid one there. Let's see how this one reacts. If this how this basically close. 5 pips there. See how that close. You don't see a huge rejection from this 1 minute anyways, and we see this candle being rejected. Okay, so that next candle basically tells me that it is not a good sign. So this is basically buy side liquidity, and we have price side pressure on this at the area where we want to sell. So not a good sign. I'm not gonna go ahead and sell in, and you can see why. As soon as after this candle happened, um, price pushed it up there and basically stopped us out, even though we just projected trade, we didn't take it. That's why I see from this alone, right? And because of the trend, you need to consider both trend. This is the trend right here, and this is kind of pseudo trend, I should say. Pseudo trend from this 1 minute doji or whatever. It has some power. I'm not gonna lie, it has some power, but it only lasts a little bit, right? Price pushes through, and you can see this rejection from this candle. This mark uncertainty right here. This candle is uncertain because it has retraced and basically pushed back over 50%. And this next candle is basically the party breaker for our projected trade. So not that great. Let's see where this is gonna lead us. Looks like it's gonna form, hoping for it to form some kind of head and shoulders. Nope, not it. Even higher there. Let's see any rejection coming down. And the highest of orders, and it broke through. Cool. It broke through all the way upside there, so there are a lot of things going on in that current market condition. 15-minute wise doesn't go until 9:15, so that's another 15 order block form along the way, but it doesn't close until 9:15. In this case, I'm gonna wait for it until 9:15 anyways. Let's see how this goes. There we go. So we have our 15-minute candle. Right there. We have a 5 minutes there as well. No trend was broken. I should say no trend was broken. There's barely any trend at all. Um, Structure trend where we can trade breakout signs. Anyways, there's no 3 or 5 minute order block except for all the way down there and within the Fibonacci discounted area. Unless I see price retrace all the way back here, I'm not gonna pull the trigger. So you have any reversal back up here. You do not have any structure at the moment. Let's just keep going, see how this goes. 922. Kept going. There's no stopping for this dude. No stopping. Fibonacci still pushing upside. Nothing. Nothing is stopping this. Not even the 5 minutes on or the 3. So overbought, oversold. Overbought. This one there, a 3. Little to no structure. Extremely overbought. Nothing here. Low liquidity. Alright. There's no signs of price slowing down whatsoever. So the same market as yesterday. I just gonna have to go to 5 minutes and speed this up because there isn't anything going on. And nope, nothing here. Just keep pushing. Any 15? Nope, there's no 15. Coming back down to the 5 minutes, sure. Not something I would be too concerned about though. See we have any transition upside here. Uh, I wouldn't really say so. I wouldn't say so here. This is kind of like a head. The head is like a turtle head. As soon as it poke through, it comes back down. Not as great as I would think it should be. No trend was broken either. So either way, it's kind of like a lax area at the moment. I would not take a buy because it's extremely overbought already. I'll see some kind of reversal, basically. Seek some kind of reversal before we coming back down once again, instead of just go ahead and finally sell in, I should say. And the news just happened as well. The news on the 10 on 10 a.m. just happened on manufacturing PMI, producer managers index, and let's see how this trend fends off. 50% is not that far away either. 50, yeah, is around the 15-minute order block, which is great. See how this goes. Let's delete that. Just keep going. See how this is gonna work out. Broke to the small lows here. The chances are it's not gonna maintain that either side, either direction, anyways. Not a huge fan of the current market, and we're slowly approaching the trend. You gotta get used to wearing a headset. It's hurting my ears. Yeah, we are right there at the trend. Basically, right there at the trend. We're approaching 11 really closely. So far, we have not seen any trade that we can get on this session at all. So, yeah, this is the type of situation where we don't have anything to trade and don't force yourself to trade either. Um, there is a 5 there, but the trend is really close too. Price broken through, and let's see how this gonna fend off. This one has, yeah, this one here did not really fill a lot of things up. The leg structure was not clear as well. I'm gonna see how the price bounce off of this trend line actually. Okay, it's reached the trend line. See how this goes. Have a 1 minute order block. Cool. It may just be a little bit of a bounce. It's trying to bounce off of it. Yep, and it bounced off of it. Just like that. All of that was just wicks. And Yeah, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say unless I see like a true transition, and now we have some really cool transition at them at that moment over there. We have some 15 minutes up there. See if any projected traits that can potentially be that high. I should say. Um, there's no 5 right there. Even on the 5 minute doesn't even retrace. It's just a 3 minutes. That's the only 5 any structure. Not until then it was broken. Not until then it was broken. So either way, it has to retrace back down once again. So let's see how this projected trade plays out. If it doesn't feel right, then I will not take it when it comes back down. Too much of a stop loss. Yeah, I would say around 8 to 7 pip stop loss. 8 pip is enough. It's like 8 pips is enough. And let's see how this goes. Whether it can retrace back down once again or not. We are at that resistance level. Let's try to not retrace back there and price broke straight through. So that's the projected trade off. Like that trend line. Now we know that it is fully broken. We know that trend is fully broken. I guess it's slowly transitioning into break, and then slowly coming back down again. But we're still extremely overbought. Which case we have a 3 minutes there. I want to see a good rejection off of this level before we get a re-enter in. Let's see. That's a good interest zone on the 3. Let's go back to 1 minute. Push through. See the candles. Good first candle. Good second candle. Third candle. Not good third candle. That is a sign of mixed reaction. We do not this to happen in our, entry criteria. So no, that's not a good criteria right there. Fourth candle. Again, the fourth candle was kind of the same height. I see on the 3 minutes as well. Not a good area, I should say. I want to clear more precise and more strong, a lot stronger rejection, and that's a good one here. That's a good one, but it did not push all the way past through the previous candle. Kind of hovering back and forth, and it's kind of a little bit past 11 as well. And this is why I just extend the session sometimes. But yeah, those are mixed signs. We do not want to see mixed signs like these. And good candles, once again, we have good rejection here. Let's see on the 3 minutes once again. Yeah, we have some good rejection off of this level at the moment, but it's not really that what we're looking for, because you see how it's still maintaining in this candle range. I want to see a break to the previous candle range. Still, still, still. Yeah, you see how it's still maintained between the candle ranges. That's not good, even though there are wicks that suggest that there are more selling pressure in, but the buy side is still keeping it along the trend. So, in which case, I want to see price break through the previous candle range, a huge candle range, before it can come through. And we have good rejection there. Cool. So, again, it's a really hard place to be, and really hard to make these kind of decisions. And this candle here, technically, it is an engulfing, right? Technically, it is an engulfing, but it's still within this support and resistance. It's still within the trend. It's still within the parallel channel of the within the support and resistance of the overall line. So no, I don't want to enter in it just yet. You see that candle being broken. Nope, nothing else. Battlefield 1114 finally has been broken, and now it has been broken. It has been a little bit too late, I should say, a little bit too late. On the 5, see how it can potentially come back up and retrace once again. 3, 4. Not that great even for entry area. This is really not a good area because we have, even though we have some good rejection here and there, it's just an overall bad area to consider, I should say. And I want to see the range being broken. And you can see here, all this respect the range. Respect the range of that candle. And, this candle finally broke that through. Kind of gather everything up together. So let's go ahead and see on the 3 minutes here on the candle. See, and let's go ahead and go for 5. If price managed to reach up there, if not, it's fine. Come back up, trace back down, back up there once again, and that zone, basically grab that. Sell side, basically grab it up once again. Let's see if it's 1 to 3, and it is around 1 to 3. So let's flatten the trade out, and just like that. So as a trader, especially outside a session, we should look for like a. This is one of the example of the extended session. Um, Basically, the extended session and how we can use it to our advantage. So on the 5 minutes, not that's a 15. On the 5 minutes here, that's kind of like an interest zone type of thing. Let's go ahead and mark up the candle hint, just like that. And on the 3 minutes, we don't have a lot of things on the 3 minutes, so no. And you can see how it broke through the broke through the support, and then it becomes a resistance. This is where we enter. Basically we make our entry here, anywhere in between the lines, anyways. And on the 5, it's a little bit clearer. On the 3, it's not. On the 1, it's a little bit higher. But either way, is around 5 pip stop loss, or you can just put your stop loss a bit higher over here. If it's go all the way back up once again, then the game's a game. Um, but yeah, this is where it would translate back once again, where you do not need to wait for confirmation, because before you are basically waiting for a confirmation here, um, right there. We're basically waiting for a confirmation of price breaking through this one. So when the shot comes back around, when price comes back around, why not just pull the trigger, right? This is where we should be able to pull the trigger if price retraces, past this level a little bit and then come back up. But then it did a huge push down, and when price come back up again, this is where it's going to re-enter. So yeah, so at 1 to 3 right there, it's extended session, but either way we have the trade. We got the trade. So yeah, it's still in the bag on the 1 to 3. I don't really care about how it's gonna reverse out. Um, but yeah, that's the Thursday session. Let's move on to December. See how from that point on, it's just retracing, going down to 50% there, right? Going down to 50%, even come back as far as retrace back up again. Um, but yeah, you can use the Fibonacci for that one too. It's just something to keep in mind, something that you can use as a take profit level dynamically, anyways, for the 1 to 3. Let's move on to Monday, December something something. More December 5th. And we have some PMI, SMI services PMI at 10 a.m. on Monday, December 5th. December 5th. I should start practicing that. So, December. This is already December. Oh, Thursday is already December. Okay. Monday, another Monday, another Monday, and another Monday. So we have 4 more weeks to backtest. Let's see how far I have gone. So we are around an hour and 25 minutes into the stream. I'm gonna take a little break, like 5 minutes break and come back at 1:30, or yeah, right here, come back at around 1:18. I'm just gonna take a 5 minutes break and then come back in once again. Yeah, with that said, I'm gonna take a break and I'll be right back. let's move on. Friday, non-farm payrolls. Nope. Monday, yeah. ISM, non-manufacturing something something. Gonna read about it a little bit actually. Um, the Institute for Supply Management, Purchasing Manager Index, measures level of a diffusion index based on a surveyed purchasing managers, excluding the manufacturing industry. Okay. Hmm. Why trading scarce, leading economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions, and the purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. Okay. It's basically Outlook, the same. It's just one of the red news. That's pretty much it. Let's speed through this. Sunday. Let's go back on 15, 16. Yeah, 16. Daily high, daily low. Sunday, it doesn't matter as much, but it's still a technical day. So technically, it still counts. So just saying. It's 15, 16, and 17. So at the end of the trading day, it's still maintaining that previous daily high. So that's good to know. Let's go and stop ahead and stop at 6 so we don't spoil ourselves on that. 3 hours. Yep, stop at 6 and to analyze the 3 and 4 hours order blocks. Something on the higher time frames here. Let's go to 3. Same goes on 3. Back and forth. That's a little bit big, so I'm gonna go down. Hopefully, fine tweaking it. Not a lot of fine tweaking. We are at the mix zone at the moment. Something I do not like, but not in my appetite. But it is what it is. 3 hours, yeah, the same ways. 1 hour, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the bigger time zone analysis. Let's move on to 7 and 8. At 8 p.m., no, at 8 a.m., my bad, we see how price broke through here, but it is at the resistance level as well. So, yeah, that's a 1 hour here, and then resistance level there. Broke through the previous, basically a short-term low, I should say, but it's more or less of a cluster area where it has to gather up both buy-side and sell-side liquidity, and then push all the way through. Price then come back up again, kind of retracing to that level, and now we're sitting at 8:30. Zoom down to 15. Now we know the bias of the market and where it can potentially go. But we don't need to Fibonacci at the moment because it's at that level where Fibonacci doesn't really apply. 50% here of this is down there, 50% of this. We already reached the 50%, but we break the previous cluster zone, you should say, and how the trend line works. Just like that, boop, 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 and touch the trend line just right there. Let's delete that. 15 minutes, a little bit high. 15 minutes here is the zone where it is selling down, so not something I would be too proud of, I should say. Nothing I should be too proud of. It is trending downside for me at least. See how this would affect the overall health of the trend. I'll consider both sides. It's just to see. Okay, that's the both sides in. There and right there. And we're at a 40. Just know that we are at the zone where it is selling, have more selling pressure than buying pressure. Oop, there we go. And lows on the 5, on the 3, and on the 1. It matches up everything well, but matching up doesn't really do a lot of justice. So that said, let's keep going, see how the market retrace and tap off of these dynamic trend lines and hopefully bounce off of it. We are also at the 15-minute order block here as well, so something to keep in mind for both sides. Let's mark that up and let's keep going. A little bit of transition, which is fine. 3, there's nothing on the left that can potentially break, giving us that clarity. Sitting at a 15 doesn't really do much at the moment. We are sitting in a no man's land, or it's just a really, it's inbound, it's in range, it's not outskirts of the price. These are the outskirts right here, where we take the buys or the sell off of where it left off. Have some things going on, but I think we're gonna continue down. Do a continuation downside. There's no breakup structure on the upside, so it seems like we are continuing pushing down. So this is really good right here. We can potentially see some continuation of the trend. That's it. Let's go ahead and mark up our. Not no, my bad. Let's pull this back instead of going forward. There we go. The full interest zone is a little bit bigger for the small trend. Let's project our default trade. See how this managed up. It's kind of matching the trend, I should say. Kind of matching the trend. Not matching the Fibonacci though, so something to keep in mind. Let's delete that. That's a wrong one. 4 pips should be good. So let's see how this fends off. Cool. So that's how it bounces off, just like right there. I even missed the sell button on. I even missed the sell button on the back testing itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back and kind of explain what's going on there. So as soon as it forms like this, doesn't matter if it's Fibonacci or not, if it lines up with the trend, you should be able to take the trade regardless of it. So this is just a major sign where people should be able to hop in. So 4 pips stop loss there when price coming back up to this order block is really good because it goes so fast. It went so fast I didn't even click the sell button on the replay bar itself. So yeah, you have plenty of room for you to enter right there. Yeah, write the price down at 1 to 3 and then flatten it out just like that. And you can ride the price all the way down once again, but I personally like to just take the profit at 1 to 3 when I'm doing my first trade, just because it is where I'm comfortable with, I'm comfortable with taking a trade like that. So in oversold market, you can see some clear structure like these. If in an overbought market and it's just doing the same thing, right? I would also, just buy in, but being oversold and it's at the level where it can potentially push down even lower, I should say it has a potential. So from the trend line, dynamically, it can goes all the way down there. And it can push even lower to this order block at the 3 minutes as well. And right now it's retracing back up from this sell side, buy side liquidity level, sitting at the 1 minute or the 3 minute order block there, even the 5 as well. Now we're taking another entry. That's going to be a second entry there because right now the first one has pretty much been done. This is more or less still bouncing off of it, a little bit bouncing off because we are at that 15-minute order block area where it's like a final destination. And I should say, even though this has been broken, the trend is still relatively downtrend. And so when price coming back up there, if there is a 15-minute where I see right there, that's a 15-minute order block. This is where the order block strategy step in the market. Sometimes users more use that. Sometimes I do not use that. So I've basically taken another more aggressive approach into trading, I should say. And now it's kind of like a re-entry. We're gonna wait for a good retracement, I should say. This is an immediate area where you can take a trade. And let's go out. See any? Nope, nothing there. Immediate area we can take the trade there. And so when price coming up here once again, the Fibonacci was suggest to take the trade on the 0.5, and I am not sure, so I'm gonna put up my notes here. The zone matches the trend line. It does. It's a lax one. Basically, it is kind of matching the trend line. I'm not gonna lie. It's returning to the original place, I should say. But there is no major sign where it's gonna continue or not. But back and forth, back and forth. But the 15-minute order block basically formed right there. And one price coming back up here once again, it's technically already did break out. And one price coming back to 62 here, we don't see on the 3 or the 5 all the way up there. So 3 and the 5 order block is all the way up there. We don't see a lot of good rejection zone over there. So in this case, let's see. After the price here, I can see all the zones here. The first candle kind of closed it in. Second candle is not that powerful of a rejection sign. Third candle, the same way, just pushes back past the previous bear candle. Third candle, rejected off of it a little bit, but there's not a lot of selling pressure coming in. And then fourth candle, basically a doji. Fifth candle, a huge rejection from the downside, and so that's kind of like a party breaker right there. The fifth candle, however, you see a huge rejection from the downside, but because of that, like it basically evens out, right? The previous candle has a lot of buying pressure. Now this candle has a lot of selling pressure, so it kind of evens out. Now this next candle here needs to have some better signature in order for me to go ahead and take a sell, or I'm gonna wait for even higher. Price come back up, kind of breaks to the 1 minute there, and after that pushes through the 70.5 is a really good entry area in general. In general, is a good area to take an entry from. However, we are pretty low here on this retracement zone, and this is a continuation. So do not get rid of the chance that it can potentially break through the previous high here. It can basically be another setup pushing through. But yeah, you can also trade within the range. And that's why we wait for a good candle like this. In which case, if this big candle coming up, what? Okay. In which case, if this big candle coming up here, we're gonna need to wait for a clear or a harder rejection from the trend. So come back up here, you see this candle was not hard. The next candle basically overlapped the previous one, evens it out, and a little bit more of buying pressure. The third one, basically some selling pressure coming in because it touches it, but it's not strong enough, still within the range of the last candle low. And the next candle here, you can see that it's continue a little bit, but then it's kind of like an even out doji, where it's a little bit fatter. And then the next candle, basically a party breaker, basically signaling that there's a lot of buy side liquidity sitting here, evens out everything. So that is like a hammer. And this one here is a graveyard, basically push price back down and evens out both of them. This is not a good sign either, because it's basically an even game when price pushing up and down. It's like an even out kind of thing. And the next candle coming up, really white candle. It is a strong white candle. Next candle continue. Next candle continue. Break out the previous one. Even though it's break through the previous candle of the 1 minute order block. This engulfing, bearish engulfing here is a validation and of where you should be able to take the trade. I should be able to set it 4.5 in 0.5 increments. and hopefully where price coming back up once again, I can take the trade. But just project the trade here and there, see if it matches 1 to 3 and with still respecting the zone. And if it doesn't, it's fine. So it's still respecting the zone, which is good. 5 minutes there, still respecting the zone is good. Yep, so it's still within the zone of the 1 to 3. So right after the engulfing here, you can see how it is as a 1 to 6, and it's a little bit too big even for my projection, even too big for my projection. So slow down to 1 to 5, but then 1 to 5 you have to go a little bit even higher to sacrifice your entry zone. So going a little bit higher. So in which case I think this is a little bit better. Let's go for the TGFX. And then from the high to the low, around 50%. Ooh, around 50%, so around there, I should say, around 4 point, around even in the middle, and then my take profit should be around here somewhere, where it came matching up to with the 1 to 3, a little bit deeper, I should say, a little bit deeper on the 3, on the 5. No, I would take, I would take the 3, please. Yep, I would take the 3-minute order block. Can't see a reasonable take profit. Slowing down the shorting the what is it, the stop loss and entry, but it's still above the 0.5, so I want to wait for the price to come back up once again because the stop loss is way too big. Price come down without retracing back up once again, which is fine. Sometimes we don't cash the trade, sometimes we do, but because of this trend line break right over here, my bad, because of the order block break on the left and this bearish engulfing coming into the market, we can just enter in after right there. But because the projected trade that I have is not really reaching the criteria of 1 to 3 and still within the range of the price, so that's why I didn't take the trade, even though there was a setup that is presented. Almost reaching 10, but this trade here was untriggered, so let's delete that. Oh, why don't I just mark it as an untriggered trade? Untriggered. Huh, I don't have it on. I don't, wait, I thought I have it on the selling side. I don't have it on sell? Okay. I don't have it on sale. Okay. Have to make it, I guess. Need to see the style and color scheme. Stop color is all the way back. Stop color is all the way black. And target color is the fourth blue from the column. Target color is fourth blue from the column. And save as untriggered. There we go. So that trade is untriggered at 1 to 3. Awesome. That's how you just customize easily once you have something to base off of. That's an untriggered trade. But let's pull this out just a little bit. There we go. So it is untriggered, literally untriggered. So now the previous low has been broken. The trend has been broken as well. And boom, there we go. We have some manufacturing stuff going on, and it just melted the price all the way down. Sometimes I wonder, that this is an actual good trade or not. But something right here, just kind of reminds me of it. I should say, reminds me of whether an entry is good or not. I don't think that's 3 points anyway. I don't think it's gonna escape the grasp of the trade. So here, yeah, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is around 4 point. So I don't think I'm gonna escape the wraps of the stop loss anyways. But yeah, if it does happen like this, that's why you need to wait for a clear sign. But once the sign happen, you miss the trade. So this is where this trade's kind of come in and try to save the day, I guess. But after 10, price pushes all the way down. Now we just wait. It's just the waiting game. Even back testing, we still wait. So have a ton of data to work with. Just fast forwarding it on 3 minutes. See on the 15, nothing on the 15. We are deep inside of the order block itself. We broke through the 30 minutes as well, so we are deep inside of the trend, I should say, deep inside of that. And so this lower trend line has been maintained on the algorithm. Um, this over here has also been maintained. These are been broken a long time ago, right there. But it's kind of like a dynamic wave to base off another one. So not much is going on at the moment. We have some 15 minute. Let's see 30. Nothing on 30. So let's mark up the 15-minute order block here. Hold on. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Let's mark that up. It's good. And see 5 minutes. We are seeing some smaller changes. See how this high will be broken or not. This is the main thing I want to see. See how this high be broken or not. Like in oversold market, that's why you see some good signs here. Reason why I don't want to even consider this as a trade is too far out. It's too far out. And you can even see it right there. Notice matches up everything. It is at that level. Like it is really far inside of the retracement. And once a trade is at the 70.79, is at the really critical and cautious zone where our signs of rejection needs to be a lot clearer. Um, but even so, after the push after this, right, push all the way downside, I wouldn't really go ahead and take any trades right after that. So just basically wait around until we have a 15-minute order block, of course. That's the reason why I took that in the first place, because there was a 15-minute order block selling down. Let's see how this can reverse, how the price can reverse this. It's not even a trend. That's the main problem. It's not even a trend. Right there, it's just a support and resistance break of structure. So you can argue that this is a trend, but you know, it is out of the zero point 0.5 Fibonacci. It is not even matching up with the trend because there is little to no evidence of a trend. So with that said, just wait for a good rejection, some good structure, and maybe we can enter here on this zone, and hopefully we can ride the market up. We have some good rejection from the first one. Some bad rejection from the second one here. You see how price pushes back down once again. Not a good area to basically take a trade off. That that third candle here, that third candle right there indicates that there are more selling pressure coming in. So no, steadily. There we go. And see how all the candles are starting to, coming into place. All the wicks here, all the trails that it left. You see how it can form, how it can really form, and you're gonna spot it. due time, you're gonna spot them extremely easily. Um, 5 minutes is down there, 3 minutes all the way down there as well. Another entry zone is 1 minute down there. Let's see how this candle reacts actually. Okay, good poking up. Cool. Next candle. That's not a good sign. Again. Yeah, not a good sign overall. Not airy. Nope. This is basically where this is, even if you make an entry right there after this candle, this is a sign where you should get out. This candle is a sign you should get out. But yeah, it broke through the 1 minute order block, so that's irrelevant. So yeah, just gonna wait for it to come back down once again. 3 and a 5. Let's go. Let's just wait. Right now, nothing else going on. So, oh yeah, we are already past the extension, the 11 mark. Anyways, let's see this one, arguably. Anyways, but it's not really that great of a session. I should say it's not really that continuation or stuff like that. So I don't consider that one. But yeah, we passed 11. Yeah, not a good session. Really low liquidity. We have barely any structure, but we did manage to cash the trade here. Um, pseudo live, I would say. Caught the trade on backtest. That's not even a sentence that should be fit in backtesting. But yeah, we caught this trade in backtesting. This one here was untriggered, but yeah, we also got a trade for the day, anyways. So that's good. With that said, let's keep going to Tuesday. So I'm feeling myself losing some control. Yeah, I already streamed for almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna wrap this live stream up. It's already been 2 hours since I started it, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap the stream up and then I'll do more offline backtesting. It's already 10:46, so I may be able to just do one more hour, probably at the all of this backtesting week from Monday to Tuesday, and then I think I'll call it a night. And tomorrow on a Friday, I'm gonna live again, and I'm just gonna talk about future plans and maybe do a few more backtesting here and there. Um, but essentially, I want to backtest offline in the afternoon, and then backtest again, a live stream on Friday again. The same way it goes, 2 hours of just backtesting on the charts, live streaming, and then on Saturday I'll do the same thing. I'll try to live stream sometime during the day. It doesn't matter morning or night, Saturday and Sunday. Just gonna live stream 2 hours a day, and then yeah, hopefully then we can finish up a lot of our time with the session that we have on the data backtest, and then hopefully on Monday we'll be able to hopefully on Saturday and Sunday somehow we're gonna incorporate and compare the trade, and then after that journeying everything and marking it up all together. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll end the session for today. Thank you for sticking along with me. Thank you for watching. And with that said, I will see you tomorrow on Friday. Take care.